Okay, I want to thank y'all for coming today for this announcement we have. This is pertaining to the homicide we had out on 84 West in Wicksburg. On December 12, 2023, the Houston County Sheriff's Office responded to 11220 US 84 West Wicksburg. Upon arrival, one elderly male was located, later to be identified as Durwood Ard, 70 years of age. At that particular time, it was declared a homicide. The victim was severely beaten. Investigators from Houston County Sheriff's Office worked the crime scene, collected evidence, submitted it to the Alabama Department of Forensic Science, where today we were notified possible DNA on a suspect. Justin Ryan Ammons, white male, 20 years of age, from the Wicksburg community. And at this time, he's charged with one count of capital murder robbery.
That JUSTINRYANAMMONS.
That's correct.
Sheriff, was this man a suspect early on in this investigation?
Yes, he was. We interviewed him, and on an unrelated charge. And at the time, we had to wait for forensics to come back to confirm our direction we were in. And today we were told that we did get matches on the DNA.
Would it be presumptuous on my part to conclude this may have been a robbery and that was the reason for the death?
It's believed to be, from the circumstances where we worked the crime scene and the facts that were collected later. It turned out to be a robbery. Now, I don't know if that was the intentions at the time or not.
And I asked that question to ask this question. Is this a capital case?
I'm sorry?
Capital case?
Yes. He's charged with one count, capital murder.
You don't have any idea of maybe what led up to something like this?
At this time, I don't, but just because we got a confirmation and obtained a capital murder warrant, investigators are still collecting evidence and waiting on further evidence that was submitted to the Department of Forensic Science.
Mr. Ammons homeless? Or do you live in the neighborhood?
He frequented Wicksburg. As far as I know right now, it's believed that he possibly was homeless at the time. So,
Is this a random person, or is this connected to anything?
our beliefs that from the investigation we conducted that they know each other, and right now that's all I'm gonna say on that part right now.
How intensive was this investigation from the department standpoint?
How is it?
Yeah, how intensive was it?
Well, it was pretty intense. Our investigators worked hard on this case. I've been with the department a long time, and that was one of the most brutal murders I've witnessed, the scene. So,
He was killed outside his house.
he was beat to death.
Talk about the brutal scene. I don't want you getting graphic, but just talk about, carry us through when you arrived at the scene, his daughter had found him, and just give us an overview. We weren't there at the time as to what you witnessed.
Well, I mean, anytime you have a victim beat the way Mr. Ard was, from my visual at this crime scene, I didn't go to the autopsy, but looks like he severed extreme skull fractures and structural damage to the skull. Severe.
And Mr. Ard had been a long-time member of the community and had been in business here for a long time.
I believe that's correct.
Do you know how long he was there? Because I recall, right, someone found him there, dead. So do you happen to know how long he had been there, or was it fairly fresh? Or
not at this time. I mean, like I said, we're still waiting on some forensics to come back. I feel sure it had to be, more than 12 hours.
Did you mentioned you were another charge he had. What do we know about his criminal background, and did you arrest him today?
Yes, he was charged today.
And what do we know about his criminal background?
I don't know the exact, as far as the NCIC criminal background. I know he had we charged him with a shoplift at the time. He was definitely a high suspect, and he was placed in jail on that, and he remained in jail until we got forensics back today. And today he was charged with capital murder robbery.
Has he confessed?
No.